Why hello, it's me again, Damien Gatto. Today we're checking out another video. Today we're checking out some videos by Kentucky Ballistics. The first one I'm checking out is how tough are Harbor Freight gun safes? So let's have fun and get this party started. This ought to be interesting. So, without further ado, let's go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And you know, there's this magical store called Harbor Freight, and Harbor Freight is known for having just about every tool you can think of at a very affordable price. Now, sometimes it's really good stuff and sometimes it's not so good, but they do have just about everything you can imagine. And every time I walk inside that store, immediately they have these setting up front. Gun safes. Go ahead and get used to this sound. You're gonna hear it all day because it came a flood last night and this place is nothing but a mud pit now. Today I have 4 Harbor Freight gun safes ranging from cheapest to the most expensive. So starting at the bottom of the totem pole, we have a Harbor Freight suitcase safe that's around like $30, $40. Then I've got this little vault right here that's around 60 bucks, I think. Then you have the actual gun locker around 199 bucks. And then you've got this big old safe right here, which is for 22 guns. And I believe this is around the $500, $600 range. But with my membership card, I got it for a little bit over 400 bucks. Now that sounds pretty good for your wallet, but how good are these things at actually protecting your valuables? Well, today we're gonna find out because I'm gonna torture test each and every single one of them.
Yeah.
So we're going to start out with the suitcase safe. This thing claims to be waterproof. Well, let's find out. I'm going to open it up, put my valuables in here, which consists of 3 fudge rounds, which that may not be valuable to you, but I absolutely love fudge rounds, okay? Actually, you know what? I'm going to go and eat one now. We'll put 2 in there. Yeah. I got my hands against the rope right here. Oh, it's floating. Well, that's nice. That's actually a good sign. We'll let that sit out here and marinate for a while and we'll come back to it. Okay. Up next is the gun locker, and this thing is, well, it's kind of thin. As you can see here, that door is not very thick, and pretty much the only thing holding it closed is this little rod right here. So, I mean, naturally, the first thing that I find myself wanting to do to this thing is just smack it with a sledgehammer.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh!
Remind me not to buy one of those.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that this Harbor Freight gun
For goodness sakes, there are condoms safer than that safe.
locker is not Neanderthal proof. Yeah. I've got that door completely off there. Yeah, well at this point, I don't even have to take the door off. I can just reach on in there and get out all your goodies, you know? I'm not very impressed with that one. How about this little guy up here? Oh, this mud today is a little much. Let's, let's get this little guy. This one seems to be a little more stout than the gun locker. Even though it was cheaper, it's a little more sturdy, I think. So let's open it up here. 1, 5, 9, 8. So you can see the little door on it is actually pretty thick. It's pretty thick stuff. But this isn't very thick. And back here, it's not very thick either.
Okay. By the power of Thor, I guess.
You know what? My plan is to smash through the door. Let's go ahead and just give it one right on top. Okay, well, we knocked off our little cover there. It's supposed to cover up your little key thing. But I want to hit the door. I think that that's going to be the weak point. Just smashing right through there. Oh! Okay, we've broke the lock at this point. That's definitely not good.
No safe cracker needed.
All right, that door is starting to give, but I think I have too much surface area with this sledge. I need more of a point. So this is a 20-pound sledgehammer. Let's see how that does. Up, it's going. So this right here is pretty darn broke. Let's see if we can shimmy it out of there. Oh, that ground is soft. Oh, I'm pretty sure this thing is full of mud. Look at this. I think, yeah, I think that, I'm pretty sure that the back caved in. Oh yeah. Yep, looks like we also smashed the back. So maybe I was wrong. Looks like these welds broke before the door broke. Actually, this entire little safe is split. Look at that. Split the whole thing. There we go. Getting some of that mud moving. Come on, get out of there.
It explains why things are less at Harbor Freight.
Okay, well, this test probably would have been better if I did it on concrete. Okay, let's see what happens now. There we go. Look at that. There's the whole back end coming out of this thing. So, looks like hitting the back of that safe with a sledgehammer was better than actually hitting the front. That was the weak point. Scott 2, Harbor Freight gun safes 0. Okie dokie, I think it's about time we check in on our waterproof suitcase safe. Looks like it's still just floating over here. It has not sank. So that, oh, oops, oh. There we go. Moment of truth. Let's see if I got some soggy fudge rounds. Would you look at that? Well, it's actually waterproof. That's awesome. I'm glad too, because that first fudge round was not enough. It is indeed waterproof, but now let's see how hard it will be to break into this thing. I feel like if I just throw this thing on the ground really hard, it should break it open. It didn't. I'm kind of surprised. That lock is awfully flimsy. Will you shut up? I am filming! Well, alrighty then. I guess I'll just hit it with Old Reliable here. Alright. That's pretty easy. So, again, Harbor Freight safes, 0. Scott, 3. Okie dokie, now time for the big guy. Now I will say that this one here does seem like it's going to be a little bit harder to get into than the others, but at the rate I'm going, I'm feeling pretty good. Before we get started, let's open it up. See here, 159 pound. I'll go ahead and tell you that this one is not waterproof. It got left somewhere over there and some floodwaters got to it. And as you can see, that's pretty bad. That looks like my bed sheets after I eat Taco Bell. You can tell that this door is pretty thick. You have several bolts here. I say first, let's take a few shots at this thing. I'm curious to see how thick that door actually is. So, you know, normally I would start out with something small and then work my way up to something big, but I think today I'm going to go in reverse order. So this is a Barrett M82A1, and I'm loaded up with 10 rounds of 50 BMG, 660 grain, full metal jackets. But you know, before I blast this thing, if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, you better smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Do it!
Already done.
That was a good hit. Oh. Okay. Let's go have a look, shall we? So it appears we have either some smoke or heavy dust coming out from our safe. I believe that's smoke. As you can see right here, we have all of our hits in our door. Let's see if we went out the back. Yes, it appears that every single one of them made it through the back of the safe. Let's see if we can get it open. That's wrong. Nope. Let's try one more time. I can hear the click, but it's not opening. Now there is a way to use a key. There we go. That's right in there. I'm pretty sure this thing's on fire. Okay, all right. Now, it's locked up. So we have no choice but to break into this thing at this point. So now we are going to work our way backwards, and now we are going to hit it with a 12 gauge shotgun. This is my Spa's 12 gauge shotgun, one of my favorite shotguns, and I'm going to be loaded up with 5 rounds of 12 gauge. First, we're going to hit it with a door breaching round. Then I will have 2 rounds of double-aught buck, and then I will have 2 1-ounce slugs. The only bad part about the Spa's 12 gauge is loading it. Every time you load it, you got to push this little button right here. Door breaching round is first. Let's go ahead and switch to semi-auto. Buckshot. Slugs. Let's go check that out. It appears the door breaching round actually just hit my keypad, blew through the back of it, but didn't really do a whole lot of damage. And then we have a hit right here with a slug. And then we have a slug that hit right there, which is pretty impressive. And then all of our buckshot. Let's see if we made it through the back with anything. It doesn't appear so. Now there is a little dent right there. So maybe that slug actually managed to make it to the back of the safe. So now moving down the totem pole, we have a 500 Magnum, my favorite handgun in the entire world. This is a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum with an 8 3/8 inch barrel, and I'm loaded up with some Underwood ammo, Kentucky Ballistics, 600 grain hard casts. Here we go. I think it felt that. I'm going to aim for the bottom so we don't have any trouble figuring out which holes are which. Here we go. Oh yeah. How many rounds do I got left? Oh, I didn't shot them all. Let's go check it out, I guess. So it appears to me that the front door of this safe is not 500 Magnum proof. We definitely blew through that thing. Let's see if it went through the back, though. Oh, darn it. We almost made it through the back. Look at that. It bulged the back pretty good. So now for our last firearm today, we're going to hit the safe with 9mm, and I'm going to be using Ruger's new handgun. This is the RXM. This thing actually looks pretty stinking cool. It's even got an optics cut, and I will be loaded up with some Underwood ammo, 115 grain, 9mm full metal jackets. There we go. That was a good hit. Let's give it a few more, shall we? That ought to do it. Let's have a look. I am having a hard time figuring out which holes are new holes, but I would say most of our hits are somewhere in here. We have some pretty good dings right here on the side. I seem to be pulling to the left today. Anything from 50 BMG to 9mm, I am pulling to the left. I'm not really sure if we have any new holes. I guarantee you we don't have any new dents in the back. Looks like that front door is actually pretty thick, but again, back here, not so much. Up next, we have a Harbor Freight angle grinder. Look at that. Well, I'm about as good as those chicks on Instagram. My Harbor Freight angle grinder just pooped out on me. That's no bueno, especially like the battery's still good. So I killed it. But that's okay, because I have a backup. All right, let's just see if we can crack open this tin can. Already got me a nifty little hole there from my 50 cal. There we go. No problem. I can just take this right here and I can just bend it. Whee! Just like a can of sardines. Now you can see back here, we have a nice little thing here of drywall. Ow! Okay, there you go. Well, it looks like you have two pretty good options when it comes to this if you forget your code and lose your keys. One, just blast it with a Barrett M82A1 or $40 angle grinder from the exact same store. Regardless, there's solutions. Some cheaper than others. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. What did you think about these Harbor Freight specials? Let me know in the comment section down below. Personally, I'm more of a high quality gunroom guy with some gun walls, but are these something you would consider? If you did enjoy today's video, please do me a favor and give it a like and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to check me out on all other social media platforms. All those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. I'll see you next time.
The 2-bore blunderbuss, the biggest bore of all. Fun.
Shoo-wee! You saying that right there's a 2-bore?
Yes, sir.
I don't believe I've ever seen anything like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about you pick it up, and I'll get your picture with it.
All right, that sounds like a good idea.
Why do you look so sad? Give me a smile.
No, I don't smile.
Oh, come on. Give me a big smile.
Well, all right.
How?
Yeah. What?
Nothing. I'm okay. My heart skipped a beat for a second. I'm fine. Let's try again. Give me a big smile.
Okay, all right.
Ah!
What?
Don't worry about it. I'm okay. Let's do it one more time. You're going to give me a big smile. And I'm going to count to 3, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whoa.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I'll send that to you, buddy. Looks great.
Yeah, send it on over to my jitterbug.
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And you may not know this, but we have hit my 4-year anniversary since my 50 cal accident. For those of you that don't know, 4 years ago, I had a 50 BMG explode in my face. Long story short, I had some ammunition that I was unaware was faulty and producing upwards of 4 times the normal operating pressures of a 50 BMG. As you can imagine, that did not end well. The gun exploded, breaking several bones in my face, my orbital bone, my nose. I went blind in my right eye, broke this finger, had a lacerated jugular, a punctured right lung, and lost a lot of bodily fluid. And the only reason we were able to make it to the hospital was from shoving my thumb into my own throat. Hence the shirts, just put a thumb in it, for those of you who are new to the channel and do not understand what that means. There are a lot of other things that occurred that day and probably other injuries that I failed to mention, and if you want to watch that original video, you can click the link in the description down below. But since then, I have fully recovered. They had to completely bone saw me open, including my collarbone, to remove a giant piece of metal from my lung, along with lots of other small pieces. Had to repair that cat lung, my jugular. I have titanium plates in my face, and they had to pin this finger back together. I give thanks to God that all I am left with now is a 15-inch neck scar, and my right eye is slightly blurry sometimes, and these gums are still numb, but that's about it. There was a point in time when I was laying in a hospital bed, and I did not think I would ever get to shoot another large bore firearm again and continue pursuing my passions. But that is why every year I try to find a bigger gun to celebrate my anniversary. And the one we have today kind of makes my neck itch, and hence to the newest anniversary shirt this year we have 50 cows make my neck itch. Here at the bottom you have 1,460 days since last accident. Hopefully I don't have to change that after today. On this side you have the Kentucky Ballistics logo, and on this side you have the thumb logo. These are only going to be available for the next 30 days, and there is a link in the description down below. Now it is time for me to introduce you to the newest addition to the channel, and boy is it a big one. Today I present to you the Mule. The Mule is a custom built 2-bore blunderbuss. It is named the Mule because it is going to kick me like a mule. This is basically Punt Gun Junior. The Punt Gun is a 1-bore that shoots a 1-pound ball, but the Mule is a 2-bore blunderbuss that fires a 1/2-pound ball. That is a 3,500 grain projectile. For some reference, the 4-bore is 2,100 grains, and the 950 JDJ is 2,500 grains. Also,
Awesome.
this behemoth only weighs 16 pounds and has a steel butt plate. I'm guessing that the Mule is probably going to kick me harder than any other firearm that I own. This thing will probably produce more felt recoil than the 950 JDJ, and that thing is producing 300 pounds of felt recoil. So let me give you a close-up of this. As you can see here, the Mule is a true 2-bore, measuring 1.32 inches in diameter. Like I said, this thing weighs 16 pounds, has a 24-inch barrel, and is fueled by black powder. I am very excited to try this thing out. Yes, it is going to be brutal, but also a very rare experience. There's probably only a handful of people throughout history that have had the pleasure of firing a true 2-bore, which is 1.32 inches in diameter. There's probably only 5, now 6, in the entire world that even exist. So let's go get loaded up and finally try this thing out. The time is upon us to ride the lightning. The Mule is loaded up with 300 grains of black powder and a 1/2-pound 2-bore lead ball. Just for reference, that is about 64 .556 bullets. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie, but also very excited. Here we go. I'm going to have a looser stance. Oh, wow!
The kickback. That thing could shatter your shoulder if you're not careful. Please use this on a ballistics dummy. I want to see it.
Wow! I'm gonna say that the 2-bore blunderbuss is nothing to shake a stick at. I believe that is our new hole. Let me see here. I'm gonna shove my stick down in there. I made it about that far in, but I do not think. Yeah, that's it right there. That's pretty deep. So now I have the Mule loaded up with another 300 grains of black powder and a 1/2-pound lead ball, and I'm gonna try to hit that steel target over there. But that could be a little difficult because the blunderbuss does not have a sight. Okay.
Okay. Oh, you got it.
Oh, we managed to knock it over. This thing truly does kick like a mule. So I don't know if you know this or not, but these steel targets are not easy to knock over. So the fact that we plowed this thing over is pretty impressive. Looks like I hit right there, which isn't too bad for a firearm that does not have a front sight on it. Smacked this thing, knocked it clean over, and then I assume whatever was left of that half-pound lead ball went that way. I will say, this thing is kicking very hard. Normally with say the 950 JDJ or the 4-bore, I can shoot it a few times before my shoulder actually starts throbbing. But after 2 shots with the 2-bore, my shoulder is already feeling it, and that steel butt plate is not helping. Glad you could make it. Unfortunately for you, everything is working out fine today. The nerve of those guys. Oh, that was almost the greatest table flip in the history of table flips. So what's really great about this 2-bore blunderbuss is it's pretty much a punt gun junior. This thing can shoot just about anything you can cram down its giant hole. But for now, we're going to start out by trying out some cornflake shot. These are basically just giant flakes of lead. They should be pretty nasty, and I'm going to have a whole half-pound in the mule. And I'm going to fire it at a 5-gallon water jug. We are all loaded up with our cornflakes. Let's start out the day with a nice, healthy breakfast. Here we go.
It vaporized it.
All right, smells like a bunch of rotten eggs over here. Let's take a look at our 5-gallon water jug. It got busted up pretty good. Oh, man, ripped that thing apart. So those corn flakes were nutritious and delicious, but now I have another 5-gallon water jug, and this time we're gonna hit it with buckshot. So a normal 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch buckshot round holds about 9 pellets of buckshot. And that is what buckshot looks like. The mule is gonna be able to hold a half-pound of buckshot. So that's around 70 pellets. Well, looks like we got a little bit of a storm blowing in. Okie dokie, half-pound of buckshot. Here we go. Man, that kicks the snot out of you every single time. Completely destroyed my 5-gallon water jug. There's actually 1 buckshot pellet left in there. The only downside is it's going to be really hard to get these things refilled at the store. 5-gallon water jugs are cool and all, but I think we need something a little bigger for the 2-bore blunderbuss. So how about a steel 55-gallon drum of water? Half-pound ball at a 55-gallon drum. Here we go.
Let's see. That's not watertight anymore.
Now that right there, that's a big old hole. Oh, so we made it through the 55-gallon drum, blew out the back. This is great because my hands are dirty. So I can go ahead and get those on nice and clean. Not really sure where the ball went though. Brakes on that truck aren't working too good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about the blunderbuss in the comment section down below. Be sure and pick up a 4-year anniversary shirt. Link in the description down below. Give this video a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. And I'll see you next time. Oh, well, that's not good.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. I love this guy's channel. He does a lot of fun gun-related content. Just saying, be sure to check him out. Be sure to check out Kentucky Ballistics. Awesome channel. He does awesome work. Be sure to check him out. But besides that, be sure to check out my channel too, Damien Gatto gameplays and reactions. And also, hope you have a nice day. Hope you all take care and still stay classy.